Hi, my name is Joanna Whitney. I'm an intuitive artist and a student of natural law. And I'm going to just briefly take a moment to share what natural law is. Because I encountered someone who may have watched these videos and they said they knew what natural law was, and they referred to something that has absolutely nothing to do with what I'm talking about. So I realized that I need to define natural law, because there are other concepts out there about something called natural law that is not what I'm talking about. Natural law: universal, non-man-made, binding, and immutable conditions that govern the consequences of behavior of beings that have the capacity to know right from wrong. And here on Earth, we have natural law. It's inherent. And I'm going to put a link to a document that I compiled about natural law in the description of this particular video. And this is why I am exploring formal consensus, because natural law, the thing that is the most occulted information on Earth, because if humans knew about it and lived within natural law and respected natural law, we would be free. Inherently, we would know freedom. If we raised our children to understand natural law, we would be free inherently, which we are inherently free, but we have been mind controlled into slavery. So that's why I'm trying to promote the idea of formal consensus, because if we learned how to have consensus in groups, we would learn, it was a spiritual process, and we would learn how to create freedom, and we would be aligned with natural law. And everywhere I turn now, I encounter people who either want to work together, which is very rare, or people who want to control other people. And it all sounds innocent, and it sounds like the only solution is to put down a group of rules that everyone has to follow according to one authority human. But unless someone is open to everyone's point of view and having a discussion and having, regular talks about concerns, there will always be tyranny. Situations will always turn into tyranny, because that's what we're really supposed to do here, in my personal opinion, is that we're supposed to work together to create freedom. And it's an ongoing process that requires your attention, continuous attention. Hence the term paying attention. Paying attention means that my attention is currency. And that even underscores the double slit experiment, which proved that whatever I focus on, whatever I look at, whatever I see, my perception of something changes it. So there's no such thing as, pressing a button and then leaving natural law to run on its own, although it will run on its own, but so that I can go do what I want, which is play, right? When we do that in society, natural law conditions make society go into entropy, which is what it's in now. We would have to continue to pay attention and have our freedom and our attention to matters be as important as our fun. And so far, we don't see it that way. In fact, we want to delegate that responsibility to other people, which it's impossible under natural law to delegate that responsibility. And when we do, those people end up attempting to govern us or enslave us. because it's up to each individual person to pay attention and have the interaction with other people and finding consensus, a spiritual answer to our problems, be part of our lives. So that is the natural law of which I am a student. And I've found that formal consensus seems to be an ideal way to put it into action. So I'm on page 29, and we were discussing evaluation, which is basically where after each session, people are given the opportunity to share their feelings so that there's no leftover animosity towards other people. And people get to air their grievances in a short evaluation process. So uses of evaluation. There are at least 10 ways in which evaluation helps improve meetings. Evaluations improve the process by analysis of what happened, why it happened, and how it might be improved. Examine how certain attitudes and statements might have caused various problems and encourage special care to prevent them from recurring. Foster a greater understanding of group dynamics and encourage a method of group learning or learning from each other. Allow the free expression of feelings. Expose unconscious behavior or attitudes which interfere with the process. Encourage the sharing of observations and acknowledge associations with society. Check the usefulness and effectiveness of techniques and procedures. Acknowledge good work and give appreciation to each other. Reflect on the goals set for the meeting and whether they were attained. Examine various roles, suggestions, suggest ways to improve them and create new ones as needed. Provide an overall sense of completion and closure to the meeting. So that's pretty self-explanatory, you know. In our present society, I would just say we basically fake it till we make it and then walk away with our judgments. And we act on our judgments and we don't tell other people what they are. And if we have a problem, we don't talk about it with the person that the problem is with. We talk about it with other people, gossip, and then build a case against the situation and then leave the situation. I'm just going to read types of evaluation questions. It is necessary to be aware of the way in which questions are asked during evaluation. The specific wording can control the scope and focus of consideration and affect the level of participation. It can cause responses which focus on what was good and bad or right and wrong, rather than on what worked and what needed improvement. Focus on learning and growing. Avoid blaming. Encourage diverse opinions. Some sample questions for an evaluation would be, were members interested or bored with the agenda, reports, or discussion? Did members withdraw or feel isolated? Is attendance low? If so, why? Are people arriving late or leaving early? If so, why? How was the overall tone or atmosphere? Was there an appropriate use of resources? Were the logistics, such as date, time, or location, acceptable? What was the most important experience of the event? What was the least important experience of the event? What was the high point? What was the low point? What did you learn? What expectations did you have at the beginning, and to what degree were they met? How did they change? What goals did you have, and to what degree were they accomplished? What worked well? Why? What did not work so well? How could it have been improved? What else would you suggest to be changed or improved, and how? What was overlooked or left out? So these are good questions to just think about, even before starting formal consensus, because you can start to see what's important and what each individual person should be looking out for and contributing to the scenario so that everyone is satisfied. Yeah, these are not things that we generally do nowadays, I don't think. I mean, maybe some groups do this or others, I don't know. but I haven't seen this in our groups. And what I see is like the agenda's put forth and then we leave and resentments build over time and groups split up. So the evaluation would be important.